Hey guys, thank you for joining me on working through the reteaching side for 10-2 in your practice book. Okay, so we're not going to do the practice side, we'll do the reteaching side. So let's take a look at this and we'll work through this together, okay? Because this is a new type of a concept, just like I was saying yesterday. Looking at different denominators is changing things up here. So what do we notice here when we're looking at comparing two fractions? What I notice is the denominator is different. Okay, so that's causing me to put the brakes on, and let's hold up and let's see how to compare this. Now I look at my numerator, and my numerators are the same. Okay, so if the numerators are the same, then what do I do? So let's take a peeky weeky here. All right, so I like to think of, when I think of slices and things, I think of slices of pizza. Now, I know pizza is usually not a rectangle, but bear with me. Let's pretend we got ourselves one pizza, okay? Now, one pizza has been cut up into thirds because I see the denominator says 3 equal sized pieces. Okay, so that's represented right here. Now, let's take this all the way out. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Let's see if this works. Like that. 1/3 and 1/3, right? 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. That's 3/3. That's an entire pizza. Okay? Now, this other pizza, the denominator says 4. So it's been cut up in fourths. That represents there. Let's go ahead and do that one. I'm gonna do that one in red. Okay. So I'm gonna change that there. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Okay. So now we have a pizza that's been cut up in fourths. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. That's 4/4. And another pizza has been cut up in thirds. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Okay. And we want to compare just one slice of each pizza. Okay. So we've got 1/3 to 1/4. Now immediately I'm thinking, okay, 1/4 has got to be bigger. 4 is bigger. That's a bigger piece. But not when you're talking about fractions, guys. Because remember, fractions are cut up bits of one whole. So if you have a pizza and it's been cut up into fourths, that means there's 4 pieces that have to take up the space of the one pizza. But then you have a pizza cut up in thirds, which is a smaller number. But remember, that means that this pizza has only been cut up into 3 pieces, so those pieces are actually going to be bigger. That the smaller the denominator, the bigger the piece. So now we look at 1/4, the size of 1/4, okay, as compared to the size of 1/3. And look at how much bigger this piece is to this. So if we were comparing 1/3 to 1/4, we would say that 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Okay? We have the opening, the mouth opening to the bigger piece. That'd be 1/3. Now let's take a look at our first problem here. And we're comparing eighths to sixths. So the denominator is different. We have 8 here, 6 here, but our numerator is the same. That means there's 2 pieces here and there's 2 pieces here. Okay, all right. So we're comparing the same amount of pieces, but the size of the pieces are going to be different because the denominator is different. So let's look at the visual representation up here. Okay, so we've got our pizza, right? Here's our pizza. our really strange looking rectangle pizza. And that represents how big a pizza is. Now, one pizza has been cut up into eighths. That means this pizza has been sliced up into 8 equal-sized pieces. So let's go ahead and play that out. So I'm going to make this blue. So if this is only showing 2 of those, right? So let me bring that all the way out. And let's show those 8 pieces. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. But now this pizza has been cut up into sixths. So that means this one pizza has been sliced into 6 equal pieces. Okay, so let's do that one. Let's make that red. Bring that one all the way out to show the full pizza. And let's do the other 4 pieces because this is 2, right? So there. Okay. So, once again, do you notice how 6 is smaller than 8 as far as if we were just looking at numbers, but with fractions, the smaller the denominator means the bigger the piece. Would you rather have to, if you loved pizza, would you rather have 2 pieces that have been cut up into eighths or 2 pieces that have been cut up into sixths? Hey, if you love pizza, I'd say, man, give me the bigger pieces, right? 2 sixths would give me more pizza than just 2 eighths. So if I look over here, 2 eighths to 2 sixths, I say 2 eighths is less than 2 sixths. Okay? Once again, we're looking at the numerator, 2 and 2. So there's 2 pieces for each one, but the denominator 8 makes the pieces smaller than the denominator of 6. Now let's look over at number 2. Number 2, we're comparing, here's your pizza, and we're comparing it to the pizza being cut up into fourths. That means there's 4 total pieces, right? And we're talking about 3 of them. There's 1, 2, 3. There's our 3 fourths. Compared to a pizza that's been cut up into eighths. 3 of those pieces. The numerator is 3. The numerator is 3. So, which one's bigger? Well, I'd hope you see that the 3 fourths is way bigger than the 3 eighths. So 3 of these pieces are going to give you much more pizza than 3 of these pieces. Once again, look at that. 8 is bigger than 4. But remember, in fractions, it's the exact opposite. The smaller the denominator, the bigger the piece, because it's been cut up into less pieces. So 3 fourths is greater than 3 eighths. There you go. Okay? Now let's take a look at number 3. Okay, the numerator is 2. The numerator is 2. Okay, so we're dealing with 2 pieces here and 2 pieces here. Now let's look at the denominator. The denominator is 3 and the denominator is 3. Okay, I see 2/3 and 2/3. Hey, if the numerators are the same and the denominators are the same, I think that they're going to be the same, right? As long as this pizza is the same size as this pizza, if you have 2/3 of this pizza and 2/3 of that pizza, you got yourself the same amount of pizza. Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4, look at our numerators. We have 3 pieces over here and 3 pieces over here. That's good. Now look at our denominators. We have these are in fourths, and this one's in sixths. Now remember, what do we know about the denominator in fractions? Remember, the smaller the denominator, the bigger the piece. So if you have a pizza that's been divided up into fourths and you have 3 of those, That's going to give you more than if you have a pizza that's been divided up into six pieces, and you have 3 of those. Let's make sure we've got that right, okay? Here's our whole pizza, right? This one's been divided up into fourths. You've got 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, okay? This pizza, let's do this one, we'll make the pizza the same size. Been divided up into sixths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 of them. 3, 6. 1, 2, 3. Look how much less pizza you get for 3 pieces out of 6 as compared to 3 out of the 4 pieces of the same size pizza. So 3/4 is greater than, okay? Last bit. If 2 fractions have the same numerator, okay, we've been looking at that, same numerator, but different denominators, which fraction is greater? Okay, well, if they have the same numerator, but different denominators, which one's going to be greater? It's going to be the one that has the smaller denominator. Okay, so the greater fraction will have the smaller denominator. Right? The greater fraction will have the smaller denominator. 3/4, 3/6. 3/4, 3/8. And there you have it. Thanks, guys.